Welcome back to Studio 4. Matt Miller with you for Trekzone. It's the news for this 18th week of 2021. Supporting Trekzone is easy, fast and fun. Get the details at the Trekzone/support. We're back on Patreon with early access to every podcast as soon as they are produced. We're also keen to see likes grow on this video and everything that we do. When you see the like, give it a click. Also, subscribe on YouTube and ring the bell to get our latest eps straight to your notifications. If you listen to podcasts, find us on your app, subscribe there too, and get the latest eps downloaded to your device. Now, let's get into the news. Anson Mount spoke with Radio Times last week for his forthcoming movie, The Virtuoso, but his new series, Strange New Worlds, also came up. The Pike actor says that they're halfway through filming the first season, and he's glad to be back at work. While COVID protocols are making everything take a little longer, the process of getting this show started is the smoothest he thinks he's ever had. Now, despite the recent COVID positive guest cast member and Ontario lockdown, the production has continued unabated. And while we've seen some behind the scenes imagery, including a logo, nothing is confirmed so far. On those COVID protocols, my chat with the Orville's director and producer John Kazar next week. We'll go into some detail on what it's like on set. Patreon members, in fact, have access to that right now. Well, Gates McFadden dropped by Trekmovie's podcast and spilled some beans about her feelings towards being overlooked for Picard Season 2 and likely Season 3, with both seasons now in production. She told the Trek News site that she's sad she's not in the second season with her former captain of over 15 years. McFadden noted that things have changed a lot on different levels, referring to her chat with Trekmovie 11 months ago, where she was hopeful to have been involved. The Beverly Crusher actress didn't share LeVar Burton's recent optimism about potentially appearing on the show, but she would be open to exploring ideas about bringing the characters back together again. With Germany still under a COVID lockdown, the organisers of Europe's official Star Trek convention have had to move the date of their convention in Dortmund. The con moves 17 months into the future, with plans taking shape for the end of September 2022. The organisers note in a post on their website that hopefully this gives enough time for vaccines to be fully rolled out and the majority of the COVID threat be eliminated. They say they firmly believe that the original date of the 25th of June was not enough time for Germany to emerge from lockdown and have the ability to hold events of a decent size, and even with flights being available. Well, tickets already purchased will remain valid for the next dates, but if anyone wants to make changes, they can do so by the 31st of December next year. Here at home and on a science front, Gilmour Space Technologies will collaborate with DEWC Systems to develop a payload for intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare in low Earth orbit. The payload, based upon current 3U CubeSats in the 80 to 100 kilo class, will be manufactured from commercially available components and delivered on board Gilmour's launch vehicle rockets. This announcement will help DEWC further develop its capabilities within the field with its miniaturized orbital electronic warfare sensor systems, which are a dynamically reprogrammable multi-purpose electromagnetic sensor system integrated and deployed on microsatellites, which DEWC hope will provide a unique and enhanced space-based electronic warfare capability for Australia. This comes just a week after Gilmour Space announced a collaboration with SpaceLink and demonstrates the buoyancy of the current Australian space industry. According to CEO Adam Gilmour, they are building a coalition of technology partners that will be able to combine with us and provide fantastic services from space. Well, what a week on Trekzone. We started with the news, recapped The Next Generation, talked science with Dr. Brad, dived into the premiere of The Bad Batch, spoke with Nick Swainston about the pulsar he discovered, and caught up on that time when we first met Rod Roddenberry and Dave Galanta. And coming up this week, we went live as China's Long March 5B rocket body crashed back to Earth in the Indian Ocean. Dr. Brad will be back for Talking Science. Fausto Hayter is here from Pixamondo to chat about Discovery's visual effects. That's available right now for Patreon members too. Jason Dworkin will beam in to update us as Osiris Rex powers home. We'll recap Deep Space Nine with Lee Sargent and reflect on that time when Stephen Hawking passed away. If you are a member on Patreon, you'll already have access to That Time When and my Trekzone conversation with Fausto, so sign up now, all the details, and starting at 50 cents a month. That's right, 50 cents a month for early access to Trekzone podcasts. All the details at the Trekzone/support. Otherwise, don't miss a public moment. Subscribe and ring the bell on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed in your favourite app and get on the website, of course. That's trekzone.org. Leave a comment on YouTube too. Let's chat about the stories this week. But for now, and as always, I'm Matt Miller for Trekzone.
Keep up to date with Twitter. Catch new podcasts daily on YouTube. Plus, we're beaming to your favourite podcast app 5 days a week. Just search for Trekzone and subscribe.